That's what we all think when we see that area.
Especially when it's LeBron James, who's capable and usually snaps back from an injury kind of right away. He's had that injury before. It's a very sensitive area. Now, we don't know exactly what it is, but based on what we just saw right there in the tunnel and where he was grabbing, you know, those type of injuries can flare up again, you know, and so we'll have to wait and see exactly what it is. But if it's that groin again, groins are very difficult, very difficult to recover from. You can't move certain ways, you know what I mean? So hopefully it's not that severe. Hopefully it's something he can, you know, we can see how it is tonight. But if it's in that groin area as it was before, you know, that could be a tough issue to deal with.
For me, I look at this, you know, when you saw him hurt it Christmas Day, it was like an action that we could clearly see where he hurt it. This one, we trying to find out when did he hurt it. And if you saw that clip, it's not like a point where we really say, oh, that's when it happened.
Yeah. So like a slip on the floor. Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm thinking it's a minor thing. I'm gonna go with the side on the side of being, you know, positive, because, you know, I've torn my groin before, and you know at that moment when you do it.
100%.
Yeah, it's not like he was walking to the free throw line, all of a sudden took 3 more steps, like, uh-oh, I'm kind of hurting. So hopefully it's just a mild sprain, and he'll be back sooner than later.
Yeah, LeBron did finish, Rob, with 30 points, 12 of 22. Got hot from 3. We were kind of waiting for that game from him. We talked about in the pregame. He was 4 for 9 from 3, also 8 rebounds and 5 assists.
Yeah, he was balling tonight. You know, just one of those things that, you know, you hate when a guy's playing good and then he gets injured like this, but we know LeBron. He's our Superman. He'll be back.
All right, guys, now we talk about the game. Kind of a predictable, when you've watched this team play for the 11 games, sort of game for them, right? Battle back on that 18-2 run in the second quarter. You tie it up. You're down 2 at half. Last thing we talk about before I strip you of that ball, Rob, right out there at halftime, is you know, third quarter woes. Right? It's been talked about ad nauseum on our non-game night shows, right here on the set, at halftime. And the Lakers come out and they lose that quarter 33-23, and now you're down 12 and you're playing catch up against a Clipper team that's starting to feel it. And it's kind of reared its ugly head again, Rob, in big game, Brez. And then you only score 101 points. So it's kind of the same story. Rob, when you look at the box score, it looks pretty even again, and Lakers win some categories, Clippers win the others, but
third quarter, excuse me, third quarter has been a disaster for the Lakers. And you look at the way they played in that second quarter, it's almost like you say, okay, can you have this carryover? And that's the one thing about the Lakers, and we talk about, they have no carryover from quarter to quarter. They're going to give you 1 good quarter out of the 3, but can we get 4 good quarters? And that's what they're having a problem stringing that together, because the energy is there defensively. When you saw them in that the second quarter, when it was rotating defense, everybody was contesting shots. They frustrated the Clippers so much that you think, okay, you saw what we did. Where's the carryover? And that's the problem that we have with them, is they have no carryover from quarter to quarter. It's always just 1 good quarter.
That's a frustrating graphic that Andrew Miller made and put up right there, our graphics producer. That's 59, minus 59 in the third quarter. We're only 11 games in. So when you see that it's the second worst in the league, and then you also combo that with you're the worst shooting team in the league from 3, it's hard to win basketball games. Yes, they're competitive. They're playing good D on most nights. They're doing their thing, but they're losing. And it comes down to those kind of things, right? When you have to nitpick. Big game James.
You can't be a team of glimpses.
Yeah.
And that's what they are. They're a team that'll give you a glimpse here and there. And the third quarter, they're totally aware of it, because they've had that negative so many times when they come out in the third quarter and just stink it up. You would think that they could correct that, especially with the second quarter they had with the defense and the energy. To me, it just seems like they just haven't developed into a team yet. Like, the Clippers are a team. They know each other. They're in sync. But the Lakers don't seem like they have that, you know, that chemistry to even tell each other that we have to play hard in the third quarter because it's no excuse for it. We saw what they did in the second. We know they can do it. We know they have a habit of, sticking up third quarters, and to not get together as a team and talk to one another and say, hey, we're going to take these first 6 minutes and we're going to play like it's our lives dependent on it. Doesn't happen. It's weird.
I mean, I feel like if this was a high school team, you'd pull like a Norman Dale from Hoosiers and maybe make them stay out there the entire half while like Red Panda's doing her thing. And you just treat it like a 15-minute timeout, Rob. I don't even know if they should go back in the locker room. Of course, I'm joking, Brez, but I'm sure Darvin is and his staff are
actually
racking the brains as well.
Red Panda is pretty entertaining. I would like to stay out there and watch her do her thing on the unicycle. The Lakers are having two big deficits almost every game. Okay, you talk about the third quarter deficit. You're giving up almost 6 points a game, right? Just in the third quarter. And, of course, the three-point shooting. Lakers a little bit better there tonight. They didn't, embarrass themselves or anything, but they're giving up almost double
only
digit.
-6 in that, right? In that area? Only
Yeah. But coming into tonight, it's just it's almost double digits every night. They're going to give up 10 points, 12 points, whatever it is at the three-point line every night. Just hard to have so many deficits. And I go back to what AD said about 2 weeks ago. And he noticed the pattern, the first couple games of the Lakers season. He said, we always fall behind. And then we expend so much energy to get back into it. Happened again tonight. Lakers down second quarter big to the Clippers, make a good run to cut it to 2. What happens third quarter? I don't know if they're tired. All of a sudden they're down 12 going into the fourth.
Another category Lakers lost, in my opinion, was a big deal, was the bench 37-21. That's a big difference. That's -16. And you look at the Clipper balance, 7 guys in double figures, of course, led by Paul George, who had another outstanding game, and they've now won 5 of 6.
Well, they're a well-oiled team, and they're on a mission. They're on a mission. They picked up John Wall. They're really trying to do something this year. And Ty Lue has them playing well. They've bought into it, and they're playing without Kawhi.
Yeah, they're actually built to play without Kawhi because they're used to playing without him. They didn't play with him at all last year. He's only played a couple games this year.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's missed much more time over the last few years than Anthony Davis, so they really are accustomed to it, and it shows. He's played 2 games this year. Doesn't even really matter. And by the way, AD only 4 points in the fourth quarter tonight. Lakers have played 11 games. In only 2 games has he scored more than 4 points in the fourth quarter. So still another talking point. They got to find a way to get him on track in that final 12 minutes.
All right, guys, let's get you to the highlights. We take you out to Crypto.com Arena. It was a Clippers home.